in the most inhospitable corners of the planet, where the temperature plunges far below freezing and the wind shears across the landscape with lethal force, survival is a constant battle against the elements. Yet, in this brutal environment, nature has engineered a miracle of insulation. This is eider down, a material so light yet so warm that it defies the laws of the cold. For the indigenous people of these frozen lands, this soft gray substance is more valuable than gold, a critical shield that protects new life from the biting frost. But acquiring it requires an intimate knowledge of the wild, a journey that tests the limits of human endurance and an ancient pact between the hunter and the hunted. The quest begins not with a sprint, but with a calculated migration. The community mobilizes, packing their lives onto sleds, entrusting their safety to the strength of their dogs. These animals are the engine of the Arctic, hauling heavy loads across a terrain that offers no quarter. The landscape here is a deceptive, endless white, a shifting maze of ice and snow where a single wrong turn can lead to disaster. Navigation is not a matter of technology, but of memory and instinct. The elders read the surface of the snow like a map, their knowledge etched into the land itself, guiding the tribe toward the remote coastal edges where the solid ice begins to fracture. As the frozen shelf gives way to the open water, the mode of travel must change. The sleds are left behind, and the kayaks are deployed. These vessels are masterpieces of engineering, unchanged for thousands of years. Frames of driftwood or bone, skinned with seal hide, they are silent, swift, and dangerously fragile against the crushing power of the sea ice. To paddle here is to dance with death. The water is cold enough to kill a man in minutes. Navigating through the labyrinth of icebergs requires nerves of steel and muscles hardened by a lifetime of labor. They are heading for the rocky outcroppings that rise from the sea, natural fortresses where the eider ducks congregate in their thousands. Making landfall is only the first hurdle. The terrain of the nesting grounds is rugged and unforgiving. The group must traverse slippery stones and moss-covered slopes, carrying their gear on their backs. It is a physical gauntlet that spares no one. Men, women, and children alike must climb, their breath hanging in the freezing air like steam. They move with a singular purpose, scanning the ground for the camouflage of the nesting birds. But the Arctic is a place of sudden, violent change. In an instant, the blue sky can vanish, swallowed by a whiteout. When the storm hits, the world shrinks to a few feet of visibility. The wind howls, driving snow into every crease of clothing, coating eyelashes and skin in a layer of rime ice. This is the moment where preparation meets reality. There is no shelter here, but what they carry and what they wear. Yet, even as the gale screams around them, the work continues. The connection to the land is spiritual as much as it is practical. When a nest is found, the harvest is conducted with a gentleness that contradicts the harshness of the surroundings. The gatherers approach the birds with deep respect. They do not take everything. To strip a nest completely would be to sentence the eggs to death, breaking the cycle that sustains them all. Instead, they carefully remove the excess down, replacing it with dry hay or grass brought from the mainland. It is a fair trade, warmth for the eggs in exchange for the warmth of the tribe. This sustainable practice ensures that the birds will return year after year, a renewable resource managed by those who understand the delicate balance of this ecosystem better than anyone else. With the baskets filled, the immediate danger of the harvest passes, but the labor is far from over. Back in the relative safety of the tents, away from the biting wind, the processing begins. This is a task of patience and precision. By the flickering light of oil lamps, fingers stiff from the cold work to separate the feathers and debris from the pure down. It is a slow, meditative process that brings the community together. Stories are told, skills are passed down to the younger generation, and the bonds of the tribe are strengthened. Every ounce of clean down represents safety, a guarantee that their families will sleep soundly through the long, dark polar night. As the expedition concludes and the weary travelers make their way back across the ice, they carry with them the harvest of the season. They are the people of the ice, survivors who have thrived in the harshest conditions on Earth by adapting, observing, and respecting the world around them. The storm may rage and the temperatures may drop, but wrapped in the gift of the eider, life in the Arctic endures, continuing a timeless rhythm that beats in the heart of the frozen North.